Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Belichick's Bitches podcast, the number one podcast in the world, using some sort of metric, using the best source, the only source. Do trust me. I'm your host, Brennan, and along with me, as always, is my co-host, Tyler.
And what a week. Uh, there's only one game left in the NFL season.
The Super
God, this
Bowl.
season has blown by.
And we're not going to be able to see the Pro Bowl because it's not going to be, actually
Oh, but it's
broadcasted.
gonna be better. It's gonna be better.
It's
It's gonna
going to
be
be
on that.
live streamed Madden.
Well, it's not even live. It's gonna be a pre-recorded event.
That's true. And edited.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder what's gonna happen when they edit out for 4 minutes. I wonder what happened to the game.
I'm looking forward to see all the Madden faces of the people playing. How did that happen? What is this game?
That's funny.
I know we both have plenty of those moments in our games that we play.
Trust me. I'm still surprised I didn't send that controller through the window, but that's beside the point. So this week it was pretty interesting. We're actually going to go. We're going to reverse the talking of the games because one game was significantly better than the other by a lot. Um, the Bills and Chiefs game was just disappointing.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was.
the score isn't terrible, but you could definitely tell the Bills never had a chance after the first quarter. Once Mecole, when Mecole let that touchdown happen, all the momentum after that point went to the Chiefs, and the Bills just never had it.
Yeah. Did you see the
And it
video?
was
It's like Mecole dropped a punt. He muffed a punt, and then he went back to the sideline and just threw the giant jacket over his head.
yeah, that was pretty funny, and I like Mahomes' pep talk. Do you see the pep talk he gave
Yeah,
him?
him and
Yeah,
Kelsey
that was
both
cool.
gave him one.
Yeah, he said just go make a play. Made a 50-yard
50
screenplay.
yard jet sweep, and then a screen for a touchdown.
Yeah, so the Chiefs just are just so overpowering. It's insane. Um, you can't stop the offense. I've pretty much just concluded to the fact that you're not going to stop the offense. It's not going to happen.
Literally got my least favorite Super Bowl matchup.
And it was sadly
That's
I think
pretty much the matchup no Broncos fan wanted.
yeah he got, yeah you'll just be cheering for a quadruple overtime at that point. I
I'm
mean,
rooting for Mecole Hardman and Shaquille Barrett. That's it. I'll probably root for the. I'll probably have to root if I had to choose a team. I'll probably root for the Buccaneers because although I don't like Tom Brady, I'd much rather root for Tom Brady than Tyreek Hill. So I'll go with the Bucks.
yeah, it was the Chiefs, man. I don't know. I just don't know how you stop that offense. You have to. There's just no way. You pretty much have to outscore them.
The salary
And
cap.
I don't know if I see that happening, but we'll get into it. But other than that, I mean, Josh Allen did look a little frazzled. He didn't look sharp.
Mahomes also. Mahomes' is ability to learn quickly is insane. Because the past few weeks he's kind of been held down because of how far he would drop back in the pocket. Teams were able to
Mm-hmm.
dissect him better on defense, and that's what the Bills' game plan was going into this game, which was the correct game plan. But in 2 weeks, Mahomes just fixed his problems, and he just dotted up the Bills' defense, even though they had the correct game plan for the Mahomes they thought they were going to go against.
It's just every time you think you have an idea on what to do with Mahomes, he just hates you.
Yep.
You know, and so at the end of the day, we can talk about how good Mahomes is for an hour, but they just flat out the Buffalo just couldn't keep up, and I think the lack of a run game for Buffalo really hurt. TJ, I mean, when they were on the goal line, TJ Yeldon was their goal line back. But you haven't heard that name in a while. I mean,
Sounds like someone was right.
yeah. Yeah, so Buffalo really needs to target running back this class. I know they just drafted Zach Moss and Devin Singletary 2 years in a row. They don't care. They need a premier back. If they really want to get Allen way more comfortable, they need to draft a running back. There's a pretty good amount of them in this class. Trey Sermon, maybe, for Buffalo. Sneaky little second round pick.
Not
You
sure.
never know. I'm just saying, Trey Sermon would fit the Buffalo offense. But I mean, other than that, I just don't know. It was a pretty laxing game, especially after the game that came before it.
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of hyped up after the Green Bay game, and then everyone kind of turned off at halftime type thing. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
See,
like I was gonna watch the whole. I was watching the entire game just to watch the entire game, and like with like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, I'm like, can this game just end already? Like I even
there
think
was
I
some
even texted you that.
fights.
Yeah, there was fights
Yeah,
that
there
made
was
it
some
last like another
fights.
10 minutes. It's like really, come on now.
Allen, like Okafor was really like they were hitting Allen really late. I mean, and that's something the Chiefs will do. They don't have the best defense, but they hit really hard, and they hit Allen a lot.
Yeah.
And he just got pissed, and he threw a football at Okafor, I think.
He
Uh,
wasn't even throw. He tossed a football. He got thrown to the ground a bit late, and so Allen, frustrated, he tossed the football into Okafor's face mask, and he was not happy about that.
and then I think Chris Jones threw a punch, which
Yeah,
he
Chris
was
Jones just
very lucky.
throw a punch and it wasn't caught at all.
He was very lucky because if that would have been caught, he could have possibly been,
Oh, he
suspended
would
or
have been
something like that.
ejected.
Yeah, it's ejected or had a fine or something. So he's because that's their best pass rusher. So
Yeah.
very lucky. Other than that, yeah, it was just a pretty boring game. I turned it off around like the middle of the third. Just wasn't worth it. I wasn't even thinking of that game at that point. I think everyone was talking about a different game. Let's just get into it. Green Bay game, Buccaneers game. It was beautiful.
It was a good game.
I enjoyed it. It was some good football in ways that I don't think anyone was expecting. Defenses pretty much played pretty well after the third quarter.
Kevin King got
Green
dotted
Bay's
up.
defense, yeah, Green Bay's defense after halftime, after Kevin King probably got bitch slapped on that after that Scotty Miller touchdown. After that, they played really well. The defense was clicking. They picked off Brady 3 times in a half.
Just
Yeah.
goes to show your secondary is only as good as your weakest link.
Yeah, and then Kevin King played a damn fine third quarter. And then on the fourth quarter, he kind of tried to grab a jersey on fourth down, what you don't do, or third down, what you don't do.
Yeah, he even switched hands to keep hold of the jersey.
And yeah, people were saying, "Oh, they've been letting him play all game." They can't grab someone's jersey.
Yeah.
The ball wasn't even going to be completed.
I mean, to
anyway.
be fair, the receiver, he sold it. But
Oh, that was a beautiful flop, Tyler Johnson.
yeah.
Beautiful flop. I hate flop. I hate flopping, but you have to.
You're the
give
one making
props
fun of
when a flop-
soccer earlier, and
Hey, listen, you got to make fun of soccer. It's just in my blood.
no,
But
screw you.
I hate flopping, but it was a beautiful flop. Some soccer fans would be proud of that. He put the hands up, he flailed. It was funny. But and that was the end of the game. But I think what everyone wants to talk about, A, Packers defense actually played, surprisingly.
Yep.
They didn't allow 50 points like people thought they would after halftime. And B, so Matt LaFleur, you want to explain that coaching decision?
Yeah, let's
That was-
just kick the field goal when we're in 4-down territory, down by 2 possessions.
No, they were only down 8.
I
They were
thought-
only down 8.
Oh, I thought they were down
Oh,
2.
only down 8.
Okay.
But even if they were only down 8, it made absolutely no sense to kick the field goal
No, it didn't.
because you have
Even Roger
a
said
person who's going.
he didn't scramble, like, because he saw there was an open rushing lane. He threw it because he said that he thought they were in 4-down territory, so he wanted to take the chance at the end zone.
Yeah, and he didn't scramble. Would he have gotten to the end zone? I don't think so.
Probably not, but
I think Rodgers would have. I think Rodgers would have scrambled. I think Rodgers would have scrambled if he would have thought he was going to get the touchdown.
Yeah.
It's not him. But what I don't understand is you have the person who's going to win MVP on your team. You have in my opinion, the best receiver in the league. Right.
Yep.
In matchup wise, and he's the hottest receiver in the league at the moment. And it's 8 yards. You mean to tell me you couldn't draw up a play for Adams for 8 yards? Fourth down. Even if you don't get it, you still had your 3 timeouts. and your defense hadn't let up a point in like 10 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
so all they had let up was a field goal in the third and fourth quarter. You know, so what are you doing? And what did they do? They gave the ball to Brady to milk the clock out. Yeah, don't do that. Um, it made no sense. And there was a call in the Bills game, similar thing. It's fourth down and like what, 2 on like the 10-yard line, and you're facing the best team in the league. Yeah, kick a goddamn field goal. You know, I didn't understand it either. Both calls were just spineless. I don't know. It's just, you really trust your defense over Rodgers?
Apparently.
I don't.
Makes no sense.
Rodgers was pissed post game. He said, "Oh, everyone's future is uncertain." He kind of clarified that he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
He does want a new contract though, which rightfully so. He's going to win the MVP in a few days. Give him a new contract, but get him some talent.
Yeah.
I've always been one of Rodgers kind of guys. I don't really hype up Rodgers, but can we get the man another receiver beside Adams? Can we get him like, I don't know,
drop machines
anybody?
outside of Adams.
And that's the thing. It's just, I don't understand how they developed Adams and then they just refuse to find another receiver to develop along with. Alan Lazard, Scantling, and Equinemius St. Brown, they're all wide receiver 4s. So you have a wide receiver 1 and then you have a wide receiver 4.
Yeah.
Playing next to each other.
You thought with last year's draft class they would have certainly drafted a receiver, but they didn't. And this year's draft class is pretty similar at receiver, so if they don't draft
have
one,
to find.
if they don't
They
draft
have to find one. They have to find one. They have to. Man, it hurt. But so Brady's going to his 10th Super Bowl, trying to win his 7th ring, facing the Chiefs. I almost kind of feel like it's too good of a matchup in terms of storylines.
Can we mention how the Chiefs won't even be able to go into Tampa Bay until the day before the game?
Yeah, they're doing that. They're saying they're doing that because of COVID, but I don't really make sense. You mean tell me they just couldn't rent out a hotel for 2 weeks or a week? I don't know. Seemed weird. I don't know. But yeah, Tampa Bay playing in its home stadium in a Super Bowl. That's cool. I can't wait to see that. But go Tampa Bay.
I think the closest we had was like, I think the 49ers
The Vikings
played in like Stanford Stadium at some point or something like that.
Yeah.
For Super Bowl.
The Vikings, when they had that the Saints Hail Mary that year, where they went to the NFC Championship, they were a game away from hosting it.
Yep.
But then they lost to the Eagles. So that's the closest anyone's ever really been in terms of hosting in their home stadium. Was the Vikings. I think a few other teams made the championship. That's about it. We'll see. Right now, if you had to pick, what do you think the score is going to be of the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna give 34-28 Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs should be about 7-point favorites. I kind of think the same, Chiefs by 7. I'll go, but I think it's going to be higher scoring. Give me 45-41 or 45-42. Game-winning field goal by the Georgia Tech kid. I'm all for it, but it's going to be a close game. I do, but I don't know how that Tampa Bay defense holds Tyreek Hill. That's the matchup that is key. Kelsey is going to kill you no matter what. But you have to limit Tyreek Hill in that offense.
Safeties are going to have to do a big part, so hopefully Winfield is healthy.
Both safeties were hurt. They finished the Green Bay game with their 3rd and 4th string safeties.
Yeah.
Whitehead, who made a couple huge hits, got hurt in like the 3rd. And like you said, Winfield didn't play. So if they're not playing, which I mean they have 2 weeks to heal, so they should be playing in some capacity, but they're not playing. I don't see Tampa Bay stopping them at all.
Yeah. Those safeties are crucial into slowing down the Chiefs just because of how they can beat you over the top.
But can we talk about one thing about that Green Bay Buccaneers game? The return of Vita Vea. ignited that defense,
Oh, yeah.
that pass rush. They were going against the best offensive line in the league, and they just destroyed them. Pierre Paul had a great game. Barrett had a great game. Sue even got a couple pass deflections, I think, and got close for a sack. And Vita Vea was eating up blocks like he's supposed to. Danny Shelton on crack. Gotta remember that. Just insane. So he's gonna help give a huge boost to Tampa Bay. He should limit the running game, but that's not what Kansas City does to beat people.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I don't know, man. I'm going. I do think the Chiefs win, though. I'm rooting for Tampa Bay. Is
I think
Brady
I will have
getting
to
a
too,
7th?
even though, as much as I don't want to.
Brady getting a 7th ring would be hilarious. I enjoyed the assault on social media. It was an enjoyable weekend, I must say. The Brady haters, I have a question. Can y'all get some new material? You know what I mean? If you're gonna hate on somebody, be original about it. You know what I mean?
No.
You know, get some new material, make some new jokes. The defense joke is really getting old. It's not even that good of a joke. Just get some new material, please. Although calling Peyton Manning red forehead guy will never be boring.
Oh, okay. It's a great double standard there.
It is. No, but go Bucks. I hope the Bucks win. They probably won't though, knowing my luck. But
Yeah, I'd much
never
rather
know.
root for the Bucks.
plus, I mean, the Bucks deserve a Super Bowl ring. That'd be kind of cool.
Shaq Barrett
All
could
those
get
Bucks
another
players.
ring, boy. Same
Yeah.
with Devin White. I want Devin White to get a ring too because he was one of my draft crushes.
Hey, Blaine Gabbert could get a ring. Just saying.
Blaine Gabbert.
Speaking of Blaine Gabbert,
So could Chad Henne.
Gabbert.
No, he already has one, didn't he? Doesn't he? Because he was with Mahomes backup last year too.
Yeah, he had one. He
Yep.
already has one. But speaking of Blaine Gabbert, he posted on Instagram. He posted a picture of him and Brady and said, "Gangsters move in silence." I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was really funny. But yeah, it was stupid. But that's the type of energy, man. Like you need, like that's some amazing confidence to say that.
Yeah.
You truly have absolutely no weakness if you can just post that. That's, hey man, my man just said nah. That was funny. I found that hilarious.
We got some more hirings and interviews and trade rumors and
Oh,
all.
yeah.
We have a bunch of different storylines. Anthony Lynn has been hired to be the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. So
Pretty good
Anthony
hire.
Lynn will probably have to deal with a rookie quarterback for the second year in a row.
Yeah. Detroit's gonna be in a huge rebuild though, so
And
Who
Kenny
knows?
Galladay is I think his contract is expiring, so they could very well let Kenny Galladay walk as well and get a third round comp pick for next year.
yeah, and that's probably what I mean. His trade value would probably be around a second. Galladay, so that's pretty interesting. The Lions team is gonna look completely different, and that also came out about the same time where the Stafford and the Lions agreed to part ways.
Yeah.
They are going to trade him, most likely by draft day.
Yeah, because Lions are losing. Well, their players up for contract: Marvin Jones, Everson Griffin, Damian Ndola, Duron Harmon, Matt Prater, Romeo Okwara, Gerard Davis, Mohamed Sanu, Adrian Peterson, Reggie Ragland, Kenny Galladay, Mike Ford, Jamal Agnew.
So everybody.
Pretty much. A lot of
that's
people
about
had
everybody.
considerable playing time.
So Stafford's on his way out. Personally, it's interesting because a lot of the teams that don't have the capital to go after Watson are going to be the main players in this.
Yeah.
49ers, Colts, New England is rumored.
Denver's
I
rumored.
don't know how
I
I
think
feel
Denver
about
has
that.
the top odds by Vegas.
That just makes the most sense. Stafford,
To
Denver.
Denver.
I don't know. That just makes sense.
I mean, I prefer him
Him-
over Drew Lock, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'd rather get Zach Wilson if possible. But I'd gladly take Stafford.
Stafford is interesting because his value is going to be really dependent on how quickly Detroit is willing to trade him. If they're willing to stick it out, they may get a higher pick. But I don't. I mean, Stafford is worth a first and
Yes.
an extra pick. But that's not what he's going to get traded for.
Oh,
What he's
yeah,
going to
he's
get
gonna
traded for,
be
I think, is
undervalued. And on the
I'm
trade
thinking
market.
most likely a mid to early second.
Yeah, you'll probably get a
Uh,
second, maybe like a late round, like kind of like swap, maybe a player.
yeah,
Like you probably see
I
like
don't.
a second to then maybe like a fifth, a second and a fifth, but Detroit gives you Stafford in like a sixth or seventh.
Yeah, it's going to be something along those lines. I don't think it's going to be the haul that people are thinking, and it's just because they know that their negotiation value is low because he's going to be moved eventually.
Yeah.
So personally, I think he fits best in Indianapolis, but Denver makes a lot of sense. I don't think the 49ers makes the most sense. I don't think he fits Shanahan and his style of play. I just don't think those two would gel.
Yeah.
Um, I would really like to see him in Indy though, with those weapons. With Jonathan Taylor, he'd get 1,000-yard rusher.
Oh yeah.
Hallelujah! Never had one in his career. Um, and then he'd also get Pittman. He'd get Hilton. He'd get there's another receiver I'm forgetting. Pascal. They still have Campbell. They have Paris Campbell coming back from his torn ACL, and they got Doyle. They got a bunch of weapons on Indy. I think it'd be fun if he wants to win. If he's going to win a Super Bowl next year, it's going to be with Indy.
Yeah. I'd agree.
They're definitely a quarterback away. I don't think New England would go after him. It doesn't make sense, in my opinion. Just because I know we have a lot more holes in quarterback. I don't see New England making that trade. Maybe I'm wrong. I would love it. I'd be all for it. But I think it just makes more sense for New England to draft a quarterback because they're probably not going to be competing next year.
Yeah.
Most likely. Especially if Watson goes to the AFC East. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We already have Josh Allen to worry about. I would really much rather not have to deal with Deshaun Watson too, and Zach Wilson. Please don't. See, I'm torn because if there's only way Zach Wilson doesn't go to the Jets is if he goes to like Houston.
Yeah.
I don't want him to go to either team. Please don't do that, Tim. He doesn't deserve that. Don't waste Zach Wilson's career.
Poor
Please.
Zach Wilson.
Speaking of Texans, they are set to interview Eric Bieniemy and Leslie Frazier, Bills DC Chiefs offensive coordinator. Of course, I bet you knew that name. You hear it every day.
Yeah.
Literally. I feel like Bieniemy is going to get the job in Houston. I feel like if Houston's waited this long, they're going to hire Bieniemy. I don't see
We'll
why
see.
they would hire Frazier.
We'll see.
Why would they hire Frazier? Like Frazier?
I mean, they
It makes
also
some
wow, I can English. Interviewed Josh McCown.
That had to be a meme interview. There's literally no way that they just are considering someone who's only coached high school football to be an NFL head coach.
Who knows, man?
How?
Who knows? It's
I mean,
the
and then again,
Texans.
it is. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's Bieniemy. Poor Bieniemy's gonna go to Houston though. No picks.
If I was behind
He's
me,
gonna
I'd
get
just
trashed.
stay in Kansas City, honestly, than take
I
the
mean-
Texans job.
You might have to stay in Kansas City till Reed retires, although I doubt. I think Reed still has a few years left in him.
Oh yeah,
I think that man's gonna be going for a while.
especially with
Did
how
you see
successful
after-
the team is right now. Yeah.
Did you see how what he was doing after they won? He was like recording with like a GoPro.
No, I didn't see
He was-
that. No.
It was so funny. Like, just one of the best coaches in the league. He's just out there recording his players celebrating. I thought it was funny. Looked cool. So that's cool to see. But yeah, I mean, Bieniemy should get the Houston job. I don't see a reason why they would hire anybody else. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
The only candidate I think they should hire is Joe Brady. That's about it. So Joe Brady didn't get a job. Neither did Brian DeBall.
Neither did.
Brian DeBall is going to get one next year, though.
Hopefully,
I
Pep
promise.
Hamilton actually gets an offensive coordinator job since the Chargers don't want to promote him for some reason.
The Chargers don't want to do a smart move. That's
What a
shocking.
surprise!
I'm shocked. Consider me surprised. Alabama hired 2 fired head coaches.
Bill O'Brien,
Doug Marone.
Saban.
O'Brien will
this
be
is college,
Yeah, but
but
well, we're gonna have to start talking about more college with season being over.
yeah,
We're gonna have to start talking about more college.
I'm down. I am 100% down.
I get to talk about Georgia Tech football. Yay!
Totally irrelevant, yeah.
Listen, we have Jeff Sims. He's a bad. No, he's not.
He's a sheep.
He's a bad man. We're gonna waste poor Jeff Sims. I feel bad for him. The Fields and
Justin Fields is not better than Zach Wilson.
I'm
Stop.
just so sick.
People, stop. Just stop. I don't want to hear
I don't know
it.
how
Just stop.
I don't know how you can watch Justin Fields junior year, and you can watch Wilson's last year, and how you can completely come to the realization that Fields is a better prospect. I don't understand.
Neither do I.
It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me.
There's a stark difference. You have Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion, 1A. You have Zach Wilson below him, 1B. And then you have just a drop off. Then you have, in my opinion, Trey Lance, then Justin Fields.
See, I'm kind of torn on Trey Lance because I love Trey Lance's potential, but his floor is low. I don't know. The thing about Lance that worries me. We're not going to get huge into quarterbacks because trust me, we have all offseason.
Yeah, we have all offseason to do that. We will do that.
But
It will be
trust me.
happening.
But the one thing that worries me about Lance is he has to develop a lot of mechanics.
Yes.
Now, apparently, this past season when he's taken off because they obviously didn't have football, he's apparently spent like most of the time just preparing to read defenses, learning an NFL offense. That's apparently what he's been doing. I'm still really worried about it. And that's why I still think I have Fields over Lance. It's just it's literally pure potential. You're drafting pure. He's fast as hell.
Hey, that's what
Got a
my
cannon of an
pro
arm.
comp for him is Josh Allen. So
That's literally what he is. He's either going to be amazing at the NFL level, or he's going to be out of the league in 4 years type of guy. Few and far between. I think it's going to be one of those two. So I'm a little on Trey Lance at the moment. He does have some nice film, though. I will give you that. Senior Bowl is this weekend.
yes, January
It's on
30th at
Saturday.
11 a.m. I will be recording it because I will be at work. I finally get
I
to
think
go
I'll be
back to
watching
work
it.
tomorrow.
Is that 11:30 Central
I
or 11:30 Pacific time?
I am not sure. Let me check real quick.
'Cause I have accounting homework and all of a bunch of other stuff to do, so I may not have much time this weekend. My classes are attacking me.
Central, yes, 1:30 Central in Mobile.
Okay, I like it.
You should go.
Yeah, it should be. Devontae Smith declined to be weighed, which makes sense because it's only been like a few weeks
Yeah.
since the season ended.
Dude needs to put on.
So
some
he wants,
weight.
he wants to put on some weight. So makes sense. He'll get weighed at his pro day. That's what he said. He'll get weighed at his pro day. So he definitely wants to try to bulk up. Makes sense for him.
He needs to bulk up.
And he will. He will. He's like what 180.
He's like
80?
170, I want to say.
So he's like Marquise Brown. It took Marquise Brown like a whole like season and a half to get to like what 190.
Yeah. I
Something
believe
like that.
he was 170. I want to say.
I don't know if he was that skinny. feel like he's in the 180s.
I wonder why he wasn't at least measured for height at the Senior Bowl. Honestly,
I guess he just didn't want to. Mm. Well, that's good.
yeah, Alabama had him listed at 6'1", 175.
175. Okay, that makes sense.
You want to see him get more like around 190.
Yeah, I mean, he
least.
doesn't need to get to like 205 or anything like that, like a physical receiver. But you know, I mean, 190 would be nice. It may slow him down a little bit. I doubt it'll be much, but the man's got blazing wheels anyway, so I think he'll be fine.
To get that extra bulk and extra protection and extra just body mass in general is worth losing probably a fractional amount of speed, if that.
Yeah. But I mean, that's not even his game. His game is more getting open with routes and stuff. I mean, that his speed is not his game. The coaching of the game will be Dolphins Panthers. Get some interesting looks. I guarantee the Dolphins are going to be taking a heavy look at Devontae Smith.
Oh yeah, 100%. I believe Tua and I believe there's a report that Tua and Devonta Smith have been texting and like sort of like talking about getting reunited in Miami.
That'd be cool. Another thing that would be interesting that I've heard is Najee, is what the Dolphins are looking at. Now, obviously, that would be for their second round pick.
Or their 18th overall pick, if they wanted to go that route.
I just have this gut feeling. Again, completely no facts to back it up. As per usual things I say. I feel like Najee is going to be gone by pick 15. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Let's see who's there.
Something tells me with no combine and no in-person interviews, they're going to have to go off body of work a little bit earlier than usual. Something tells me Najee is going to get some early nods.
Let's see, if he went before pick 15, which would be the Pats pick,
yeah,
running back teams would be the Falcons at 4, the Dolphins, and then the Niners or the Chargers at 12 and 13.
Yeah. But yeah, so
as much as I love
I don't know,
that's way too rich for my
it is pretty high, and it's a risk eventually, especially because of the running backs that have gone high, that haven't had very long careers, that have already hit their peak and are already declining, like Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
You know, it's things like that where you're risking a first round pick for
just
if you get that running back, he better be a generation. Yeah, and that's the thing is not every running back can be like Derrick Henry, that where he didn't really play much his first year and a half.
Yeah.
He technically really hasn't hit in that 5-year wall of a running back. I mean, Chubb hasn't hit it yet. That's a little worrying, especially with his injury history.
Yeah.
Chubb, I'm a little worried about. It's just
I don't want to lose another Georgia boy.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we have as running backs.
It's a crapshoot, man, and I hope Najee goes. I hope he gets his money.
Yeah.
But especially with how deep the running back class is in the later bit, he could go as high as like 8 or 9, or as low as like 45. We don't know. And that's going to be a lot of things this draft. We don't know. It's going to be unpredictable, and it's going to be really fun.
I know definitely one of the things that I want both of us to do is to do a mock off season for both of our teams. Like I do one for Broncos and Pats, you do one for Broncos and Pats, and we see how they compare.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that'd be interesting.
Yeah. New England, please draft receiver, quarterback,
or a receiver playing tight end.
Hey, I'm not saying Kyle Pitts is a wide receiver, but if he ran like a 4.4,
I can see him easily running a 4.4.
he might do his best to say, yeah, I'm a receiver. I mean, not all tight ends have to play at tight end. I mean, Mike Gesicki is probably the biggest. Yeah. You know,
you could easily put Kyle Pitts in the slot easily.
Do you know how many snaps Mike Gesicki took at tight end last season?
60%, 70%.
How many times do you think he lined up at the tight end spot?
60, 70% of the time.
9%.
Okay. Jeez.
Only 9% of the time did Gasecki line up next to the offensive lineman. Every single other time, he was either in the slot or on the left.
Huh. Did not
I didn't know that until I heard it a couple days ago. I didn't even look it up. It's true. He just doesn't play because he has so much athleticism. They put him out wide. It's hard to match him up because you have to. You're going to put a corner on him. You're going to put a linebacker,
Yeah.
safety, and it really stretches the defense out. And that's what you're going to see a lot more of. Is you're going to see these smaller tight ends, more athletic, kind of like Kelsey, where they just move him around the offense, and it really exposes your defense.
Shermer, can you
Whether you're in
please
the
do
end
this
zone.
while we have Noah Fant and both Noah Fant and Ober Okwuegbunam?
Two of the most
Please.
athletic tight ends in the NFL. Yeah, you might want to do that. So it's interesting, and that's really what's made Kelsey so successful. And same with Kittle, is he moved a little bit around to slot, but he's healthy. So it's how the tight end position is evolving. It's really becoming less and less about blocking.
Yeah.
Because you can just have a blocking tight end as your number 3, and sub him in,
And
or
they're
how be
not
like
really
some
that
teams just,
expensive.
or how just sub in your 6th tackle. Make
Yeah,
you
some
know
teams do
get a
that.
6.
Some teams do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why not? I mean, have multiple guys play different positions. It frees up another linebacker, wide receiver, tight end spot.
Yeah.
Or, running back spot. So, see, Pitts, again, if he runs sub 4.4, it would
I don't
be
know about
very
sub 4.4, but I can see him easily
four
getting
four
the
1,
4.4.
4.42.
Yeah.
Something like that. Early 4.4s. If he runs in the early 4.4s, he'd be the best to classify himself as a receiver.
Oh, yeah, I can see him getting
He'd get
easily
picked.
4.5. I mean 4.45.
I feel like anything like that, I might want to think.
I'm excited to see what he's gonna be
But,
doing in the agility drills. Honestly, that's what I'm most excited for
Oh,
Kyle
man.
Pitts.
Who was that guy? Quiddy Pay? Was that his
Quiddy
name?
Pay from Michigan.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. His oh man, that was gross.
we got
His
a
20
we
yard
got
throw.
a great edge rusher class. This is a great
And it's
edge rusher
not
class.
it's not carried by the big names.
No.
It's a lot of guys that aren't, like the Chase Youngs and the Myles Garrett's and the Jadeveon Clowney, the best run stopper in the league. But it's more consistency, explosiveness.
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot more edge rushers picked later than normal drafts. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait.
Because just in like
Kwity
the top
Paye.
5 itself, you got Quiddy Pay, Gregory Rousseau, Aziz Ojulari, Jalen Phillips, Joseph Asai.
Yep.
You got 3 edge rushers from Miami in my top 3. I mean my top 5. Top 10. That's just crazy. You got Gregory Rousseau, Jalen Phillips, and Quincy Roche. Or Roche, I don't know how that's supposed to be said. That's just insane. The depth that this edge class is amazing, honestly.
So I can't wait. Again, this draft is going to be just completely weird.
Yeah.
And I love
There-
chaos.
There's
so it's
really
gonna be
not
great.
a top tier, like on it. There's not a top, like can't miss defensive prospect in this class, but there's a lot of good depth unless you're looking at interior defensive line. That's pretty much the weakest part of this class is interior defensive line.
Yeah. And I mean, Coverbacker has a few guys, but
Yeah, one of my top 10 one of my top 10 linebackers who was a coverbacker just returned to FSU. Amari Gaynor, one of the players of the week I talked about, he's returning back to FSU because he was only a redshirt sophomore, which sucks because I really liked him as a late round gem. But oh well, maybe he can raise his draft stock. You there?
all right. Well, you have a college player of the week.
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's go.
This week's college player of the week is Caden Stearns, the safety from Texas. He is a junior, 6 foot, 210 pounds. He reminds me of not like sort of like terms of like athleticism, but the versatility, the mid-round developmental type safety, like Justin Simmons sort of. Since he was drafted in the 3rd round, you could probably see Caden Stearns go in the 3rd. He's very versatile, can play both zone and play man. He's started like almost every single. I think he only missed one game in his career. He's loose hips, smart and very instinctive. He's good at jumping balls. Great feel for passing concepts. His biggest deficiencies are in the run, but if you're using him as like a center field safety, that's probably where he does best. But he does tackle with effort. He's just not like a thumper, but he does tackle with effort. And you probably shouldn't use him as a blitzer, but you could probably use him early on as a sub linebacker for running backs and tight ends. That'll probably be his best sort of role early on, is that in special teams, while he develops as an actual safety.
Hmm. Yeah, the corner class is deep in this one too.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like unusually deep. I was just kind of browsing and I was like, damn, there's a lot of names. Especially I think a name that's not getting talked about, which is weird, is Asante Samuel Jr.
Yeah, I really like Asante Samuel. He's my corner.
I'm one.
He's my corner too.
I've been watching more of him just because I've had a lot of time on my hands. Okay, I'm watching more of him, and I really love his ability,
Yeah.
especially since how valuable man-to-man coverage corners are.
He'd be a great fit in Denver's scheme, which is why I really hope we can get him or Farley if we're gonna when we draft a corner.
Yeah, Surtain's also in this class.
Yeah, but
Well, people aren't as high on him.
I'm not very high. I see him as best as a I see him as best a number 2 corner, a solid number 2. I don't see him as a true number 1. He's more of a complementary type of player. You're not gonna see him cover wide receiver 1 and stick with them throughout the entire game. I just don't see
Another one of my. I don't normally have these, but these are my draft crush. Israel Mukwamu. Again, there is something about him that I just love watching his tape. I love it. Thrive off of it. It makes me feel good. I don't know why. I can't wait to see him at the NFL level. I don't know what he's going to be. He could play anywhere.
Yeah.
Corner, safety.
Especially with his range.
Yep. He's almost. I can't even really think of a comp for him because there's not many 6'4" guys that can play corner in the NFL. I mean, the last guy that was that tall to really play corner was Brandon Browner. So it's going to be really fun. I can't wait to see it. And whatever defensive coordinator gets him should be putting him on the field as much as possible.
Yeah.
Put him in slot, put him out deep, put him covering 10, 15 yards out. Let the man play because he has just insane athletic ability. He's underrated. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah,
He's going to be fun to watch.
South Carolina has some good corners that are draft eligible this year.
Again, this class, man, there's going to be a lot of third-round guys that have late first talent.
Yeah. I think
it's going to be great.
Yeah, Israel Mukwamu is my currently my corner 9.
Yeah. Who knows? Defensive weapon.
Yep.
Chess piece. All of the.
I do have that category in my top 10s. I have defensive and offensive weapons, although I don't have full 10 players at each position. I just go by who I think actually fits there.
Do you have Tony as a weapon or a wide receiver? Just curious.
Out of Florida?
Yeah.
I have him as a weapon.
Really?
Yes.
He's another one of those guys where he's gonna probably end up playing slot receiver in the NFL. His ability to get open, insane. Have you seen some of the routes he's run?
Yes.
Just kind of.
And he played
one where
he played track as well. He's also played quarterback at his high school.
I don't know what team they were playing. I believe it was against Georgia. He ran a route where he ran 4 yards and then literally spun in a circle almost, and then exploded towards the middle of the field. And the poor corner, I don't know who it was. It might have been DJ Daniel. The poor corner just got destroyed on it. And it was like an 8-yard completion. Because when I was watching Trask's tape, all I saw was Tony.
Yeah.
Tony.
Kadarius
You saw
Toney's, I really like him.
Grimes or yeah, his other receiver that Florida has, Grimes. But Tony is just an animal.
Also, shout out to
Yeah.
last week's College Player of the Week, Dwayne Eskridge, getting some hype at the Senior Bowl during practices thus far. I
Oh,
think
really? Nice.
Field Yates had tweeted about him.
Hmm.
Yes, he did.
I didn't see that.
He said Field Yates tweeted, just wrapped up the first national team practice at the Senior Bowl. Most impressive player on the field, from my view, was Western Michigan wide receiver Dwayne Eskridge. He ran nasty routes, made catches outside his frame, really fast, fun guy to watch.
Hmm. Interesting. All right, well, that's pretty much it for this week. Kind of a ramble podcast because we didn't really have much of a script to go off. But
Those are sometimes the best, though.
and starting next week's gonna be interesting. It's really not gonna have much to talk about besides whatever happens the next week. No games. We can talk about the Pro Bowl. That should be fun.
Just a
It might turn
Madden
into
podcast.
might turn into a 50-minute Madden slandering. Who knows? You never know. Should be fun.
It ain't hard to slander Madden. Madden kind of does that itself.
I've had more clips on Ryan Moody's channel than on my own YouTube channel at this point. You know, poor. I think I've submitted him like 3 clips. I think he said he's gonna upload another one of mine soon. It's sad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
I've seen some of those clips. It's just the other one I saw like recently, just to keep rambling real quick. Where I think I sent it to you. It was like the dude caught an interception in the end zone and got tackled in the end zone, and it got called a touchdown for the offensive team, even though it was an interception. It's like, great job, Madden. I didn't know the other team could catch a touchdown for you.
But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait, and I can't wait to slander Madden next week. It's gonna be fun. It's always fun.
Yep.
So we'll see you next week, and 2 weeks away from the Super Bowl.
Finally.
Go Tampa Bay.
Yep.
We'll see you next week
Go
on
Bucks.
Belichick's Bitches Podcast. Go Bucks.
See you.